This season-closing doubleheader for the Playboy Mazda MX-5 Cup means twice the work for the BF Goodrich tire specialists. This weekend, the BFG guys will dismount, mount, and balance well over 200 tires. Now, the teams, of course, get a great tire to race on. BFG gains lots of knowledge to use in future tire development when they bring this many tires to the racetrack.
We're taking tire temperatures, tire pressures. Not only do we feed that data back to the teams, but we take that back to our R&D facility and apply it to the product. There's no better test laboratory than out here on a racetrack, but it helps us to understand how the tire reacts. We're able to see how the tire wears, which helps us develop compounds. We get feedback from the drivers. We have recommended hot pressures that we recommend from testing that we've done, but all of that data goes back with us and helps us to develop a better product, not only for the race teams, but for the day-to-day users of the tire.
BF Goodrich, of course, the official tire supplier for the Playboy Mazda MX-5 Cup. We appreciate their support. It's been a pleasure to work with the BFG guys all season long. Back at Virginia International Raceway, alongside Elliott Forbes Robinson, I'm Rick Benjamin, watching the battle for 6th, 7th, and 8th. Dean Copeland in that white number 7. Elliott, another guy who has not run the full season, turning in a very nice run here today.
Well, he is, and he's running with Ply, who's been running up front in the past, and he's doing a good job doing it. Ply always is there because of his mistake earlier, but still, he doesn't seem to be able to have anything for him, and they're doing a heck of a job. They seem to have lost the draft from the leaders, though, which is very unfortunate, so they'll be fighting these positions.
Young Nick Mancuso back there as well in the tire line at number 29. That's the red trim car that you see. And here comes Ply with Mancuso swinging out of line, trying to make a move out of the draft.
Yeah, and that's a tough place because, we've seen it before. You have the tight corner coming up, and it's a right-hander. Now you have to run the outside. Next one is a left-hander, so they have the advantage back on the inside, followed by another left at the bottom of the hill. And then you want to be single file here because this is where you start picking up your momentum for the straight, so it's really important starting right there.
And you exit on the left side. You've got to figure out what line to take. Top 5 arrow by here on the front stretch at Virginia International Raceway. Ply now into 6th position. Let's check in on the leaders meantime. The battle is for 2nd. Here comes Lionel Kent once more.
Well, he hasn't given up. He doesn't seem to have it quite to get up beside him coming in there, but he's giving it everything he can. And Burris is taking the right-hand side, the defensive line, which is what you want to do. He's not blocking. He's just making it very difficult for everyone.
Still kicking up a lot of dust clouds here. Beautiful fall weekend for racing. One car off into the grass. Zach Ply looks like he got offline again, Elliott.
It looks like Zach Ply's struggling just a little bit this weekend, staying on the racetrack. Normally, he's a good driver, stays on the road.
Yeah, absolutely. Top 5 have separated themselves from the pack, but look who's joined that battle for 6th. Mark Miller, who started way back in 23rd spot. He's closed it up behind Mancuso there, and Dean Copeland. Miller is next in line. Let's get on board. Justin Piscatel up the backstretch.
You can see here, you notice that you can't see the racetrack. And that's what happens when you're right up behind somebody. You've got to look around that car the best you can while you're doing this and not follow where that car's going, and it's very difficult to do up the S's.
Well, let's get more on Mark Miller's run. Here's Derek.
Well, guys, Mark Miller has already moved into the top 10. He said at the top of the show he's really confident in the car, and the car feels really fast. Just talked to the MER crew and asked them if he said anything over the radio, and they said no. And EFR, as you know, when the car's working real good, there's no need to talk on the radio.
No, that's the truth. Matter of fact, I don't really like talking on the radio, but even if he gets through these guys, I don't think he can make it to the front group because they're going too fast. So his best deal is just get through these guys the best you can, but it looks like he's got through with no damage, and we see that was no mean feat today. I mean, you had to really work to do that.
Yeah, Miller in that 28, the Bronzestone car, the Mazda Owners Club of America entry. If he can get to 6th and get a full course yellow, maybe a restart will give him a chance to get up in the mix, maybe get to the podium at least.
Yeah, that's one of those things you're going to hope for back there because that's one of the only ways he's going to get up to that front group and catch the toe again because as you can see in this photo, they're gone.
That's the car of Nick Mancuso, the red and white machine, the tire line of entry out of one of the last turns here onto the front straightaway. Meantime, it's still Todd Lamb, Todd Burris, and then the 3 Alara entries. Our Malcasian, the team principal, back there in 5th, kind of running shotgun for the boys. Here's Mancuso. Then they're side by side. Here comes Miller on the front stretch, trying to pick up another spot.
Yeah, he's able to get that toe back there, but that's not only a draft going up the straightaway. A lot of that is he passed so early. He got some really good momentum coming onto the straightaway out of the last corner.
So they want to give a call to Dennis Bizet there in the 18. That's the silver car. He's up in 7th spot. His first time in the Playboy Mazda MX-5 Cup. Mancuso's run the full season. Miller has run the full season, won the season opener at Road Atlanta back in the spring. Bizet doing a nice job to place himself in the midst of these veterans.
I'll tell you what, it's pretty amazing for a guy jumping into the series. You know, he's not running up with the lead pack, which you wouldn't necessarily expect, but shoot, he's still running with Mark Miller and the guys here, and that's a tough group.
Now, what we've got here this weekend, some drivers looking at the Playboy Mazda MX-5 Cup for 2010, trying to decide if this is a place they want to go as they work their way up through the professional racing ranks. Beautiful weekend here at Virginia International Raceway. Todd Lamb is still showing the way. We'll be right back with more.